Hello and welcome to this presentation for marketing leaders in small businesses. How to get 5 high quality intern applications in 48 hours without using a recruitment agency or a traditional method. My name is Daryl Morrow. I'm one of the co-founders here at Udrafter. And before we get into the nitty gritty and the juicy stuff, we're going to be showing you some case studies of businesses who have achieved this very thing. So we've got Andy Sutherland, who is an incredible director of a really exciting business in the northeast of Scotland, Prism Energy. And Andy and his colleague Dean were looking for some. They had a spontaneous idea to get some marketing design work done, and they realized that they didn't have the time or the expertise to actually execute on this spontaneous idea that they had. So they came onto Udrafter, managed to get an intern pretty quickly within 20 hours, and this freed up 16 hours of his time. And we've captured his post that he put on LinkedIn. They turned things around very quickly, got a skilled intern, gave them incredible work experience to work on a live project. And as Dean has rightly highlighted there, it saved them a lot of money, the man hours that maybe would have taken them to complete this themselves, and also the quality wouldn't have been as good had they tried to do it themselves. But they're able to get someone, an intern, talented intern, who's local to the area, to get this result for them. So really interesting example there from Andy. And we move on to Dan Millard next, who is the CEO of a rapidly growing and rapidly scaling international business, focusing on 3D technology within the energy industry. Dan's an incredible entrepreneur, and he was looking for some marketing rebranding work done within his business, but he didn't have enough time or the expertise to do it. So he thought he'd source a talented intern on Udrafter. He posted, received multiple applications, made an offer within a day. This was within 24 hours, and he got 32 hours back. Got the rebranding done whilst he could focus on his business as usual activities, getting more customers on and more clients. And they've now got some fantastic rebranding that they've used in their company so far, and the intern has gained fantastic experience. So we took a little snapshot there from our video case study that we completed previously. And sticking on the tech industry flow, we've got TL Tech, Caroline Lawrenson, who is just an incredible person who owns TL Tech, and she was looking for some marketing content to create around her crowdfunding campaign, but she didn't have enough time to do this herself, or the sort of intricate skills of editing things, scheduling posts, and such forth for social media. So she hopped onto Udrafter, and within 24 hours got a really skilled intern to help her out with this process. This gave her 40 extra hours in her week to go and focus on these business critical activities like running the business, getting more customers on, making sure this crowdfunding campaign was really successful, which I'm really happy to say that it was. And the intern played a really integral role in that success as well. So amazing work from Caroline and the team. Think sort of Amazon Alexa meets the home care industry, voice, artificial intelligence, helping the elderly, disabilities. Really, really cool company. I'd check them out if you've got some extra time in your day. So, who is this for? Why are you here today? Why are you bothering listening to me? Well, you're a marketing leader for one in a small company. You're trying to hit turnover targets. We've all got targets. You're struggling with your time. You're feeling stretched too thin. I know what that's like. I've been there. We're a small company as well. So you're in the right place. You maybe say yes to things too often. You've got a lot on your plate. You find it difficult to say no. And we all know that if we have too many things, we're chasing too many rabbits, we can't ever catch one and do it very well. So you're definitely in the right place if you're saying yes maybe too often. You should also stick around if you suspect that it maybe doesn't take 3 months, your mental capacity, hundreds if not thousands of pounds, and many cups of tea and coffee to get a student or intern into your business to do a small project or a piece of work. Please stick around if that resonates with you. If you're worried about cash flow or losing customers, this is 100% a place that you need to be. If you suspect that too many businesses talk about their values, they chuck their values up on a website, but they don't actually behave, they don't act out, they don't practice these values, then this is 150% for you. Um, Also, if you're trying to save more money, we've just come out of lockdown, we've just come out of COVID, you want to spend more time with your family, you want to go on holiday, save more money, buy a car, move house, whatever it may be, then this is definitely for you. So here's the key things. You can gain 25 to 50 extra hours in your week to focus working on your business, the business critical stuff, customers, get more customers in, if you target a talented pool of individuals. You automate the onboarding process and electronic payments. You can get this productivity, take the weight off your shoulders, feel less stressed, lose less money, or burn less cash if you follow these steps in the right order. Now, most business owners try to do everything themselves. I touched on that in the previous slide. That's okay. You know, if it was easy, everyone would do it. If we weren't trying to do everything ourselves, we wouldn't learn. I get it. But in order to grow, take the stress off, to expand, grow your business, we need to offload some of this work. And it's not your fault. You're not a professional recruiter. That's okay. But these are the steps that we can take forward to achieve this extra time in the week. Now, we're the best people at solving this particular problem for marketing leaders in small companies. And you might be wondering a little bit about our background. I'm Daryl. If you haven't guessed already, my brother Luke is my co-founder, and we graduated from Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen. I did 2 degrees, one in social sciences and international business. We started Udrafter as a university project. We've now worked with some incredible international businesses like Spirit Energy, Exodus Group, Seatronics, Smart PA, amongst others. And we've now got thousands of students on the platform from over 25 different UK universities and colleges, which is super exciting. And we've also been backed by some incredible organisations like Cedar, Scottish Edge, Virgin Startup. We've been featured in the Herald, Business Insider. I am really proud to be a finalist, or we are proud as a business to be a finalist in the Nesta Rapid Recovery Challenge, which is picking innovative businesses in the UK to help young people get back into work because of the negative impacts that have been faced by COVID-19. So that's a cause that's really close to our heart, and we're really delighted to be part of that journey to help people get back into work because of COVID-19. So how did this all begin? Well, when I graduated in 2015, you do what every graduate does, try and look for a job. And I fortunately managed to get 4 or 5 different graduate job interviews, and I got to the final stage in all of them, which was amazing. And I thought I'd at least get one offer potentially. Odds looked pretty good. I was quietly confident. I managed to prepare quite well on all their questions and stuff. And I got rejected from them all. It was pretty horrific. I was really down. And the same bit of feedback was from every single one is that we're looking for someone with more experience. Now, how you need the job to get experience, but you can't get the job because you don't have experience. It's kind of this vicious cycle. And I wasn't just facing it. So many thousands of students are facing this problem, and it seems pretty nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. So I phoned up Luke, said, don't know what I want to do. And he was like, well, why don't you stay on and do a master's? You'd be more employable at the end of it. What about business? You've always been interested in business. And when we were younger, we used to power wash our neighbours' gardens and stuff in the summer, get 20 quid at a time. Gave me a touch of what enterprise was really like at a really small scale. So I was like, yep, let's do the master's. And there was a module about 6 months in called Launching a New Venture, and you had to come up with your own business idea. And I immediately thought of that pain that I experienced. And I thought, there must be an easier way to get degree relevant work experience, do it quickly, and get paid for it. But equally, after a lot of research, I noticed that there was no easy way for small businesses to access intern talent rapidly, affordably, and efficiently for small projects. And it seems strange, doesn't it? But there wasn't. And this was the seed idea for Udrafter. Now, I probably should have spent more time studying at university, getting my degree and stuff. But this was a problem that I was very passionate about. But the masters worked. I got a job down in Edinburgh as a technology recruitment consultant. Worst part was I really just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the job at all. I'd be getting up super early, focusing on Udrafter, doing the day job, listening to podcasts at night after work, started to get exhausted, looked very unwell, was very pale. It was unsustainable. So I literally took the leap and quit my safe graduate job to focus on this problem. It made my skin really itchy. If that's a description, it was an itch I needed to scratch, and something, as I say, that's really close to my heart, and a problem that is faced by so many students and graduates across the UK, across the world, but also a major problem for companies to be able to tap into this talent really effectively and efficiently. So we have step one, sourcing interns by cutting out the middlemen. What does that mean? Well, think about how you traditionally source interns. What would you do? You talk to your universities, talk to your buddies, talk to your colleagues, your network, go to the careers advisors, post on generalist jobs boards, even social media, Facebook, you name it. Take this, spray gun approach. And the old result that you get is there's lots of Chinese whispers. There's no guarantee of the caliber that you're getting, and it takes you a lot of time. It's slow. It's not the most ideal way of doing things, but the new way of trying to source interns, talented graduates, and students is you cut out these middlemen, cut out all this stuff, and target a dedicated pool of talent. And the new result is that you find higher quality interns rapidly. It saves you time and money, and that time and money can be spent on actually building your business, which is quite a key aspect when you're looking to source interns. You're sourcing interns for a reason to help you grow or do a specific task in the first place. And this is bound in research. Going direct to the talent pool reduces hiring cycle time and saves you money. And the CEO of Peak Season, a recruitment group, highlights the benefits of going niche, going targeted. You get higher quality candidates rather than using the spray approach. Also, a report from Capterra states that 94% of companies said that their hiring had improved by going and targeting a specific pool of candidates using recruitment technology. So, I haven't hired interns before. Will it take longer? No. If you do it in this particular way, if you move as quickly as Udrafter does, you can onboard people really rapidly. Can it save you time? Well, doing it the traditional way takes on average 27.5 days to source and get someone into your business as quickly as possible. But by cutting out the middlemen in the way that I've described, you can get somebody in very, very quickly. Now you might be wondering, do the interns have the skills that I'm looking for? Absolutely. These students are studying subject matter expertise at universities and colleges across the UK, and they're really hungry to get the work experience, to get into your company and make a difference. That's why students are very attracted towards Udrafter as a work experience platform, and they've got a wide range of skills that are showcased on their profiles, their work history, their qualifications, personal statement, reviews that they've had from other micro internships on Udrafter is all there, covering a wide range of different skill sets like SEO, video editing, graphic design, copywriting, blog article writing, market research analysis, keyword searching, advertising, the list goes on. Now, step two, automate onboarding. How would you normally onboard someone traditionally? Well, you'd request their the intern references. You would request right to work, the education checks. You get their bank details. What else? Necessary employment contracts and employment details. That's kind of what the normal process is like that you would associate with onboarding. And what does that result actually look like? Well, it's It's pretty time consuming. It's admin heavy. What other things could you be doing in your company if you weren't doing this, taking up your time in this costly process? And this can have knock-on effects to your stress levels and your bank balance at the end of the day. But the new way of doing this is automating the right to work checks, the education checks, the employment contracts, the employee details, payment details, everything. And the new result in that process is you save a ton of extra time, a ton of brain power, weight off your shoulders, and money to focus on business critical activities and not getting caught up in the weeds of the admin. And again, this is bound by research. You look at aptitude research here. The lifting the administrative burden, the benefits of recruitment automation in 2020. Look at that, 56%, and it allows you to shorten the time to fill positions, improves conversion rates in an employer-driven model. And automation's role is tactical. It's designed to quickly help you move candidates along in that progress. So, do we vet the interns? Yes, we perform the right to work and education checks on all of the interns before they start work with you. You've only got a small piece of work to be done. Will this work? I want to demystify this now in this presentation. You don't need to have a structured intern program that lasts 3 months or 6 months or 12 months or a rigid placement program. You can access this talent. This is the 21st century. You can access this student and graduate talent really, really quickly for small projects. And small business owners don't think that they can offload smaller pieces of work that are actually going to streamline their workflow on their day-to-day basis. But you can. I'm living proof that you can do this in an efficient way. And actually, if you try and do everything yourself, you sap your energy, your stress levels go through the roof, and your productivity levels will ultimately go down. And actually, giving an intern an opportunity, it makes you feel good. You're giving someone an opportunity. You're making an impression on them. You're giving them an opportunity to change their life, and that's something that you should be really proud of. Does this work for all sizes of company, even a one-man band? 100,000,000%. Why is hiring so expensive, and how can I avoid this? Well, usually employers they advertise on multiple channels. They go to recruitment agencies. They try and do pretty much the whole process themselves. And it takes longer because you've got so many different things to do. You've got to get the customers on board. You've got to take them through. You've got to think about your product, your services, everything else. So that's why it takes longer, and that's why it's more expensive. Your time is money. But using these traditional outlets is expensive. The average cost to hire an intern or a graduate in the UK is almost $3,000. But you can avoid this by focusing on and automating this onboarding process. Now, step 3, automating payments and payroll. How would you normally pay the interns? You think of those traditional ways. Gather the bank account information, the payment details, make sure they're on your payroll system, make sure that it's approved each month, the timesheets or whatever that is that you're using. Then you need to physically pay the intern, plus yourself and other colleagues that you might have, other contractors that might be on in the business. Then you need to make sure it's all tax compliant with HMRC. Again, another mouthful that I've just delivered there, but that's the reality, and it's time consuming. It's admin heavy. This will take you a lot of time. It's costly. It's not a particularly fun thing to be doing, but a new way is automating this process completely. The time tracking, the electronic payments. It's a great way of doing it. And what actually happens from doing this new thing, is the result of tax compliance. You're in safe hands, knowing that everything's compliant. It's quick. People are paid weekly. It's saving you time, money, reducing those stress levels. And again, this is backed up in research. According to Datagraphic, which operates in this automation sphere, automating manual and repetitive tasks like payroll production reduces the time that their payroll teams spend on processes by 98%. This is no joke here. There's a case study here from a hotel in Taunton as well, and it cut the payroll team's hours that they would spend on payroll by half a day, and also up to 3 hours a week putting together schedules, signing off timesheets and things. So there's time to be saved and money to be saved and stress not to be had, if that is actually a phrase. So you might have some questions. How are payments tracked against time worked? Well, all interns submit time entries on a weekly basis with a short description of what they've done, and you can then review that work, approve the hours, and this processes through the system magically and automatically. You get one invoice per week for hours tracked. How much should you pay the interns? Does paying a higher hourly rate attract higher quality talent? It's a really good question. Well, depending on the seniority of the intern that you're looking for, we set a minimum hourly rate of £11.30 per hour. That includes holiday pay. So you can get more subject matter expertise with a higher hourly rate. But we want to keep things within your budget on Udrafter. So if you believe that it would be more attractive to get an intern on for £15 an hour doing a more complex job, then 100% that's entirely up to yourself and if that fits within your budget. But we do have that minimum amount. So that's it's complexity of the project, seniority that you want, entirely up to yourself. So as you can see, all you need to do is source the interns by cutting out the middleman, automate the onboarding process, and automate payments and payroll. Now this is going to save you between £400 and £1,000 of your own time to do all of this stuff. £2,000 plus pounds doing it the traditional way, and give you 25 to 50 extra hours per week to land that new client, hit your cash flow, hit those turnover targets, get that new customer on board. Now we've got a couple of options here. And the first option is the hard way. You do this by sourcing, onboarding, and paying interns yourself, posting on numerous generalist job boards, contacting universities, colleges, posting on social media. You know the score. This takes a long time, usually 4 to 6 weeks. There's no guarantee of the quality that you're getting. It can be an expensive process, a lengthy process, where you're going to be spending upwards of £2,000, whether it be your time or using these traditional methods. Now, the other option is the expensive way. You use a recruitment agency to do the sourcing, onboarding, paying the interns, contract, employment details, right to work and education checks. I can tell you now, this is a very expensive way of doing things. I was a recruiter, albeit for a short time, and they can charge anywhere between 15 and 25% of an annual graduate salary. So if we take 25 grand as an average salary and 15%, that's almost £4,000 that you're paying just to find these people. Not to mention all the rest of them, like paying them and everything like that. So very expensive way. Now option 3 is using Udrafter. We take care of all of this. The sourcing of high quality interns, onboarding compliance, the payments to the interns. We do this all within 48 hours at a tenth of the price, a tenth of the effort, giving you a ton of extra time to focus on your business, not in it. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is for marketing leaders and small businesses who want to hit their targets. They want to bring on exciting new customers. They can't figure out an effective way to bring on student and graduate talent into their business to free up their time and save them thousands of pounds in the process. And we've got a really cool case study here from Shared Parenting Scotland. Ian Maxwell is an incredible guy and one of the directors over at Shared Parenting Scotland, and they were looking to create a new online marketing course. And Ian lacked the time and the correct marketing skill sets within his team to create this online course and market it. So he used a Udrafter intern, got them on and all onboarded within 14 days, and he created 50 extra hours in his week to focus on business critical activities. But now the online program is up and running, and they've given an intern some fantastic work experience, which really aligns with them as a company and investing in the next generation of talent. And Ian had some things to say. It saved him a lot of time. His key point using Udrafter is that time spent on administrative tasks is time that you're not spending doing more supportive and creative things. That was a key point for Ian. And if you're looking for someone with skills which he didn't have in his team, a student or a graduate is a great way to achieve those particular goals. Then we've got Samantha Tung, who is a fantastic entrepreneur with an incredible marketing agency based in Edinburgh, and she had a particular issue where she's got a small team and she didn't have enough time to actually market her own services. So she was spending a lot of time with her clients and delivering her services, but not enough time actually selling and promoting her own business. So she had some content that needed edited, that needed posted out, marketing assets, if you like. And we did this within 48 hours and freed up 25 hours of our time. I know she's extended some of the work as well, and she's freed up a lot of her time to get more businesses on. That was a big focus for her, and this is on the next slide here, so you can see some of the time entries here of the work that the intern was doing. And key points for her was that she can spend her time earning money by working for her clients. Her time is worth more than the hours she was spending editing text. And a big thing for Samantha as well was giving back to students and graduates local to the area, to help them gain work experience. So another great case study there. And we've also got Barry Robertson from the Greyhill. Barry's an incredible creative entrepreneur, with a really rapidly growing business, and he didn't have enough time to edit some marketing content for his business. And he could do it himself, but he timed it and realized he couldn't do everything and juggle everything. So he managed to get an intern onboarded into the business, all briefed, ready to go in 7 days. And this gave him 18 extra hours to focus on more of the critical things like getting new customers onboarded, and things that were very critical for the delivery of his services. And these were kind of the key focuses for him, is that you need a social media marketing person. He could offload that. He needed it for content creation. Taking that weight off his shoulders is a big thing in his workflow, in order to be productive and save more time and money. And Louise Richardson, an incredible CEO of Absafe, based in Aberdeen, a local charity looking to educate young people on fire safety, road safety, all types of health and safety, for young children in the education sector. And she was lacking internal skills of digital marketing. They just didn't have that skill set. So they're looking to promote their services, make it more wider known within the community, not just in Aberdeen but further afield. And she gained 50 hours extra time in her week to focus on getting those new customers on board, because the digital marketing, the social media content creation was being looked after by a skilled student, who's studying the subject matter expertise and knew exactly what she was doing. Managed to get her onboarded within a couple of weeks, despite having a super busy schedule. And the key things for Louise at Absafe, was that she didn't want to commit, but she had an idea. So she didn't want to commit to a full-time position. She wanted to do a small project, and she found that Udrafter was a really good way of doing that. And because we take care of all the HR stuff, it's super easy for her. It took all that recruitment pressure, all the payments, all those things off of her shoulders, and that's something that she really valued. And we're a case study ourselves. We use Udrafter. We had severe lack of time and skills to produce social media content consistently. Social media content is like going to the gym. You need to be consistent or you're not going to get results. It's an investment, it's not a cost. And our team, I was feeling super stressed, super unproductive. So we used our own model. And we gained 40 hours extra time in our week to go and focus on other things. really important stuff. It was a huge weight off my shoulders. I can focus on these business critical tasks. We originally actually had the intern in doing 16 hours a week, but it wasn't enough. We needed to churn out more content, and this was the the exact way to do it. And we gave her a full time job because we dipped our toe in the water. We didn't want to make a full time commitment, but this intern was proactive. They had creative freedom to do what they want. We gave them, creative freedom to do what they want, for use of a better phrase, and let them go and do it. And we posted up, and within 48 hours, we had lots of applications, and we had a chat, and we got onboarded. So we use Udrafter ourselves. So what's next? What's the benefits? Well, you're going to be able to source interns at a rate that you've probably never experienced before. You're going to be able to free up at least 20 to 50 hours, if not more, time per week. If you're a small business owners, those 60-hour weeks, working on weekends, putting in the tough graft, you're going to be able to get this time back. You can hire and onboard in less than 48 hours. If you want to move quickly, as quickly as the platform does, you're going to be able to do this. You can finally get rid of the expensive recruitment agency, the traditional methods that take up your time, stress you out, the Chinese whispers. Put that stuff in the bin. You can forget about not having enough time explaining, failures, not hitting targets to potential investors or business partners or your colleagues. You're going to feel great. You're going to feel motivated. Think of Andy Sutherland there. He was absolutely ecstatic, but you're giving someone a chance. You're giving a younger person, you're investing in the next generation of talent. Think about, who gave you a chance in your first job. You're going to be able to leave that lasting impression on someone else for even a small project, 10 hours, 20 hours here, or ongoing work. This is the power that you can have, and it genuinely feels great. We are one of our own case studies too, and it's their faces light up. Their confidence grows. It's just one of the most incredible things. So, how do you actually do this? What are the steps? How does it work? Well, this is the targeted Udrafter database. We've got thousands of students, and applications will come pouring in. Once you post these projects, applications come pouring in. You can see their work history, qualifications, previous work that they've done on Udrafter through micro internships. You can see their about section, their personal statement. All this useful information is here, and you can live message with them. So this is a very targeted database. Now, we've also got the Udrafter onboarding function, which automates all the contracts, all the compliance, all the information needed to get them on board. And as you can see, it gives the breakdown of the total costs that are payable. And we automate the payroll and electronic payments process. You receive one invoice with the breakdown of costs, and you get to see the description of the work that they've done, and you accept these time entries. And you can add a bonus or extend the hours as much or as little as you like. How much? How much does this cost? Well, using a talented niche pool of quality candidates that are database, this would cost you around £1,000 in the market, plus the automated onboarding functionality, £500, and the automated payroll and automated electronic payments, another £500, equaling a total of £2,000. Now, today's price right now is 15% of the hourly rate plus the national insurance contribution. Now, we're going to add a bonus on top of that, so we're giving 10% off your first project, which is quite a significant cost saving for small businesses. So to give you an example, a 20-hour project, £11.30 per hour, is just under £350. That includes the pay to the student, the 15% fee, the national insurance contribution, and VAT. And if you're VAT registered as well, you get your money back. So it's around £250. Now, our guarantee is if you don't find anybody you like, you're not paying anything. So you don't find anyone, you're not paying. This is pay as you go. You only pay when hours are approved. And sadly, we can only take on 30 businesses per month for this 10% discount. So these are moving pretty quickly, and you want to move quickly, get this 10% discount off, all you need to do is sign up. That's it. Sign up, post a project. And as I say, guarantee is that if you don't find anyone you like, you're not paying. So some questions that you might have: how do you know the candidates are a good quality? Well, the interns that come to Udrafter are super hungry. It's a different type of platform. We are dedicated to work experience. We're not a Facebook group that you just post random stuff in. Students are hungry to come to Udrafter. It's a different caliber where the cream is rising to the top when you come into Udrafter, and they're implementing the skills that they've learned at university or college into your business. They want to learn, they want to be creative, they want to be guided by you, but they also want to guide you on things that maybe you need help with. But they have their detailed profiles. We do the right to work checks and education checks. They've got their work history, their qualifications, their portfolio. You can message them. This is how we guarantee the candidates are of a good quality. What are the typical hourly rates? As we sort of mentioned before, £11.30 is the minimum, depending on your budget and the seniority of student that you want to bring in, or graduate, should I say. Entirely up to you, but we do see that higher hourly rates do attract people. Put yourself in the intern shoes. What's going to be attractive to you and to utilize your skill set in a project? How can you try it without making a full-time commitment? Well, you can post as little as 2 hours as a project, but we recommend a minimum of 20. This allows you to dip your toe in the water. It's much like the case study with Absafe, to see if you like the intern or not. Most of the time we go through an interview process and we speak to them verbally. People can sell themselves, but we don't actually spend enough time. You've got a probation period, but you have to get them all onboarded and do all that admin piece. This allows you to access them super quick. You like them, great, continue working, or you don't like them, end the project, find someone else, and we can turn that around super quick for you. What are the payment methods? So all businesses have to register a valid debit or credit card on the platform. This ensures really fast payments to the students on a weekly basis, and that's how we operate. Can you take an intern on directly by offering them a full-time, part-time role if I think they are good? Yes, absolutely, and I'm going to elaborate a little bit further here. Do we charge fees to take on interns directly? We don't. We don't charge finders fees to take on interns directly. We only ask that you spend 10 minutes at the end of your project to capture your experience using Udrafter so that we can share it with our community. And can I use Udrafter for part-time weekly hours over a longer period? Yes, that's exactly what we do. That's what a lot of our clients do. Some of even the international businesses, they set a block of hours per month, and the interns just draw those hours down on a weekly basis, get them approved, all paid, and they're sorted out. It makes it super flexible and compliant, so you don't need to worry about getting someone new each time. Can I use Udrafter to hire for full-time graduate positions? You certainly can. So this goes back to the hiring direct. You can only do this if they complete a minimum of a 10-hour project on Udrafter first. So it's important to highlight that. It's always best to know how these students and graduates perform before you make a full-time commitment to a full-time position. And that goes back to how we traditionally think of interviewing by doing verbal interviews, but if you give them a small task, you can really understand their practical capabilities. There's nothing worse than taking someone on, realizing they're not a good fit, and you realize you have to go through all this process, but we do all of that for you. And as I say, people can sell themselves in a verbal interview, but it's the practical skills that they demonstrate that really matter. You might have an idea for a project, but is it too simple or basic? No. Literally, get that out of your head right now. No project or piece of work is too simple or basic. These are hungry people. They want to help you, and it feels good to help them as well. How many invoices do you receive? You get one per week, and it gives you all the breakdown. Do you receive an email when hours are approved, or do you have to log in manually to check? So you'll receive an email notification, and you'll get in-app notifications as well. Do you need to respond to applicants you are rejecting? Choice is entirely up to you, but we do encourage it. It shows a lot about your employer brand. If you go and post future projects, it gives a good shop window effect of you as a equal opportunity employer, you're inclusive, you give good feedback, all these things that associate you with being a strong employer. So it doesn't need to be long. I realize that you might not have enough time to give everyone individual feedback, but we do recommend it, although you're not obliged to, because we do know it takes does take time. How do you send material to the intern? Is it through Udrafter, or do you contact them directly? So you can send them anyway through Udrafter or through other communication channels. That is everything, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Thank you very much if you have got to this point. And all you need to do is sign up and start gaining extra time in your week, reduce those stress levels, and change an intern's life for the better. Thank you.